All right, so this is our annual Rockville recap. We were there all 4 days again. I actually went to the pre-party though, so we'll talk about that here in just a minute. This was my 9th Rockville, Jason. How many have you been to?
I've been to 7.
7, so I only got you by 2. That's not too bad. Next year will be number 10. I can't wait to go back. But yeah, the pre-party was the first show. It was opened up with Breed. This is the Wednesday night pre-show. You know, you get in a little bit early, kind of see the grounds. They had a lot of it open. You could walk pretty much all the way over to the merch. You couldn't get over to the main stages. They kind of had it blocked off there, but it was a lot more open than it was last year. And the opening band was Breed, who sounded really good, but honestly, I can't even tell you what kind of genre it was right now because I don't really remember it. I just remember leaving going, that band was really good, and I didn't expect that to be good. I haven't listened to them since, but Breed Live was pretty cool. Deadly Apples were next, and again, I don't even remember what this band sounded like. I feel like it was kind of industrial, but I know it's bad. I should have wrote down some notes on them after I'd seen them, but
Which one of them was it? Deadly Apples that won the contest, or was it Breed?
I think it was Breed. Breed, I want to say, was more of a local band. You
like
can't
Battle
really,
of the Bands thing that they won to get on there. Yeah,
yeah. And I've tried looking up stuff on them, but it's really tough to find them just because of their names. So, you know, they sounded good. Like I said, Deadly Apples didn't sound bad either. Next up was Josie Scott. I know I'm going through these kind of quick. Jason wasn't there, so I mean, we were only there for a few hours. But Josie Scott of Saliva was next. And last year we seen Saliva at the pre-party, and it was no longer any original members, right? I want to say even at that time, or maybe they'd still had.
I can't remember if that last guitar player had passed before that or not.
You know, I'm not sure, but you know, so we got Saliva like that, and then now we get Josie Scott doing Saliva this year. I prefer Josie Scott doing the Saliva songs over you know, the band Saliva at this point.
That's good because I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that.
Yeah, I mean, he
is the voice.
If you like Saliva, it sounded good, you know. Okay. And I have a nostalgic feel for some of those songs, so it was kind of cool to see. You know, it wasn't bad. You know, it was a good way to start the weekend. So after Josie Scott was Non-Point, which is probably the main reason I went to the pre-party. They were really good live. I don't remember ever seeing them before, honestly.
Really?
I don't know if I have.
That's
after
crazy.
All these years, you know. Maybe.
Those guys are road dogs, so.
Yeah. One of the highlights for me, though, was finally hearing In the Air Tonight live. It was really cool. I love their version of it. I always have. So
that's one of the best covers of all time, I think.
Yeah. They're on that tour coming up with Upon a Burning Body, and I'd love to go to that, but it's not going to come to Florida. I'd like to see them again. Yeah. They sounded great. So, Pop Evil was the headline. We didn't stick around for Pop Evil. We've seen them last year with Wage War. They sounded okay. Really have no interest to see them anymore, though. We had a house full of people there we wanted to get back to and hang out for a little bit, and that's what we did the rest of the night.
Yep.
That's where Jason was because he didn't go to the pre-party.
Yeah. I couldn't get to the damn pool fast enough, man.
Yeah. We had a house of 17 people, big old house out there with all the TMFT Army. It was a lot of fun.
It sure was, man.
But the first full day 1, this is Thursday, we went in and it was, I want to say, Garage Stage had Big Ass Truck. And that's where we started our Rockville week.
I wanted to see them, and we didn't quite make it in time because first day parking at Rockville is a goddamn nightmare. This year we even did the prepaid passes, but we didn't have like the VIP. So even with having the prepaid, parking, it took us probably an hour and a half to get inside.
So I'll rewind this. Very last minute, our friend Brandon decided to bring his son Eli, which was awesome bringing him with. But he had to do will call on the ticket because the wristband got delivered after we already left for Rockville. And we get down there and we're at will call for like a fucking hour.
Holy shit.
And we left right around the same time you did. But because we had the premium ADA parking, we got in like almost instantly. We didn't really have any problems, and we're able to still see Big Ass Truck, who was a hell of a way to open up, like officially open up the weekend, Just a lot of fucking fun. These country boys up there just screaming Big Ass Truck. I mean, it's one of their songs, So it's
I've heard the song. I wanted to see him, man. I felt like it was going to be a good one.
Garage Stage is a good place for that too. It wasn't the Dust Bowl yet, but I mean, it just was dirty already, and it's a lot of fun. So Next up for us was Shadow of Intent. I don't remember what happened right after Big Ass Truck, but we didn't get up to Shadow of Intent right away. They were already playing when we got over there.
Yeah. Shadow of Intent, I thought the band was great, but the sound mix on the stage wasn't. I don't feel like the guitars cut through very good. It was very bassy, but man, Ben Dewar on the vocals is just a demon. Like, he even looks like a fucking demon. Like, I've never seen someone make so many weird faces while he's.
we were kind of far back for them, and so I didn't really get to see his face and anything like that.
It was crazy, dude.
I do remember thinking though, like, this is not really a band for the middle of the day. They need like the full production inside with the lights. I was like, I remember leaving that going, I would love to see them with Lorna Shore. And then the very next day that tour got announced. So it's really cool. So
you already seen them with Lorna Shore, man.
Again, man, you're right. I did. You're right.
And actually, that's what I was thinking, because I was comparing it to that performance. And I was like,
right.
This is not what they sounded like last time I heard them. They sounded good, but the way the sound was mixed made them sound like they were some amateur band or something. Like, it just didn't sound, and maybe it was because it was early in the day. They were still getting the sound dialed in on the stage.
So this is over at the Inferno stage. Inferno and Vortex were side by side this year. They were across from each other last year. And we should talk about this too while we're on these stages. They had the AstroTurf down last year, the artificial turf. It was very nice. It covered the blacktop and concrete. It did help with the heat reduction over there. You didn't have all the concrete fucking road rash if you fell in the pit. There was lots of that happening this year. They took that stuff up because we just had the concrete. So, man, I hope they bring it back next year, because like the heat level over there was insane this year.
It made the Inferno stage live up to its name because it was so goddamn hot. I mean, you could feel it like cooking you, It was just...
Yeah, you were getting beat from above and then beat from below. And, they had the water hoses and stuff. They brought that stuff out, but there was not enough of it. And then the problem over there, too, with the water hoses is you started creating a very slick ground on that blacktop. So...
Yeah, and to me, to be honest, I liked it better when the stages were across from each other. I thought I was going to like the side-by-side, but I kind of liked that it kind of forced people to get out of their spot and move if they wanted to go see the other show. Also, if it was a band that you just were casually interested in, you could kind of hang out in the middle and just kind of hang back. You could sit on the turf. And you didn't want to sit on this fucking asphalt. That's for sure.
You damn sure didn't. We didn't sit at all on that asphalt. But I will say this: we hung out in between the two stages for a few different bands, and I liked it side by side better.
There's benefits to it, because we'll talk about it later. But there was a certain band where I was able to walk all the way up the side and just worm my way straight up into the front and have a great time. So I mean, it's good and bad. It's good and bad.
After Shadow and 10, I think we took a little break for a minute. We came back to Inferno for Acacia Strain. Did you do anything in between that?
We also took a break. We were sitting within earshot of Finger 11, who I forgot was even going to be there.
We walked by them. I remember that now that you said that. We walked past Octane stage over where they were and heard like a song in passing while we were walking.
I mean, I didn't even remember they were going to be there.
Same. I heard them. I was like, huh? Is that? Okay.
I was shocked because I think we sat down with Kevin and Casey. Shout out to Bulldozer and Mrs. Bulldozer. But I didn't realize how many of their songs I knew. Like, that band's got a lot of hits, and I had no idea. I thought they were a one-hit wonder because I only thought I knew one song, and then I heard all these other songs, basically like these super poppy songs that get played on, like, in the fucking grocery store while you're buying produce and shit. And I was like, whoa, this band had a whole career, like, and I didn't even know it. So they sounded good for what they do. It's not my thing, but but then we went back for Acacia Strain.
So. And Acacia Strain's one of the bands we kind of watched over from the side. We were up near the rail, but we were in between the stages where they had the big misting fans, and we were kind of cooling off watching it. But it was a good show from over there.
Dude, to me, one of the best performances of the whole fucking weekend.
Wow, okay.
I absolutely loved watching the Acacia Strain. It was only my second time seeing them, and the first time I saw them, I wasn't as into them as I am now. They're a band that I was kind of late to the party on. But I fucking loved it, and I love that Vincent, who has all of these very serious, very angry lyrics, very disturbing things that this man writes songs about.
He looks like he's on National Lampoon's Vacation.
Right. And he sounds, he's saying silly things like, all right, for this next song, do something irresponsible.
Yeah.
And really angry band, really silly, fun performance.
Yep.
And I had a great time. I really liked that dynamic. So
it was a lot of fun over there, definitely.
I couldn't find one of their shirts. It pissed me off. So.
Yeah. We'll get to the merch a little bit later. Next up for me, and I believe it's the same for you, right next door to the Inferno stage was Vortex, and we stayed for Fit for a King.
Fit for a King, man. Always a good time.
Always.
Spinny bass, man.
Yeah.
That Bobby loves so much.
Well, he closed out the set crowd surfing playing his bass too, so that was really cool.
Yeah, Fit for a King's always a good time, man.
They bring it every single
time. Even if
time.
you don't like that type of music, I feel like you're going to have a good time watching them.
Yeah.
Because to quote a great man, they just have so much great energy.
They have great energy. Next up for me, I seen a song or two of Exodus, who was playing at Inferno. I don't remember if we watched it and then went and got something and came back for From Ashes, or if it was the other way around. But I did see a couple of songs from Exodus.
Okay. Well, I mean, how do they sound? I didn't get to see them.
They sounded good from afar, but I mean, because we didn't go over to the stage. We were waiting for From Ashes at the stage right next to it. So
I just wish I knew exactly what time they were going to play Shovelhead a Kill Machine, and then I just go over there and
go over there. I mean, they didn't sound bad. I mean, just the old school thrash band, and they still were up there ripping it, man. They had a pretty solid crowd over there too. So.
But yeah, I feel like might have been around the time we went to eat as well, because
probably
we didn't. I'm pretty sure the next band we saw was a little bit later. But
every day was fucking survival of just between hydrating, eating, just trying to stay alive and energized.
Yeah, and if we didn't mention it, like we were dealing with record temperatures. We were at the highest heat index we're at the top of the scale on the heat index.
So think about this too, is record temperatures outside of the speedway. Inside of the speedway, with all this concrete around you reflecting it in, it's even hotter.
Yeah, and walls to keep the breeze out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
brutal.
We were cooking in there.
Definitely, which we'll get back to that as we go through. But yeah, I next up for me was From Ashes to New, and it's the biggest crowd I've ever seen them play to. These guys, like a lot of times when I see them, there's technical difficulties or the show got moved. That one time got last minute moved, and they did the free show. And the technical difficulties last time I seen them, but they're always good when they play. Good to see them play against such a big crowd here, and not have any issues the entire time. So,
yeah, I did not catch From Ashes this time. The next band we saw is we saw Converge.
Converge. Where was Converge at?
They were on the garage stage,
same time as From Ashes. So.
Yeah, so. We watched a few songs for them before we went to Trivium.
Yeah.
And Converge was great. I mean, I've never been the biggest fan, but I wanted to see them because they're a legendary band, in that old school metalcore scene.
Yeah.
And it was organized chaos just like you would think it would be. They sounded really good for what they do.
That's a good way to describe the garage stage, which is the smallest stage, the Dust Bowl organized chaos.
Yeah.
It was
all your noisiest bands were on that stage.
They were. It was a lot of fun. So we watched the entire From Ashes set. So we were actually late over to Trivium because I think they had a slight overlap there.
We were a bit late to Trivium as well.
We got over to Trivium, which was at Octane stage, which is the second biggest stage at Rockville. Trivium mostly played Ascendancy songs. They closed with In Waves, and they also played, I want to say, Strife, but everything else was from Ascendancy.
Yeah. 5 out of the 7 songs.
5 out of 7, yeah.
It was the same exact set list from Sonic Temple.
Yeah. So we got Gunshot, we got Pull Harder, we got Ascendancy, and what's the slow song?
Dying in Your Arms.
Dying in Your Arms.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was good. There were circle pits. I was expecting more from the pits, honestly. It was kind of tame, but still fun.
It was early. It was hot. It was the first day, so
people were warming up.
God, they're amazing live, though.
They're so tight.
As far as the way they sound, like you can barely tell the difference between the live show and the album.
Exactly.
I would have loved to have seen them under the lights. Man,
So guess what we will get to do though? It's came out in that show. Trivium will be back in December. So
Yeah.
that's going to be it won't be the Poison the Ascendancy tour anymore, but I'm guessing that's the continuation of the Ascendancy tour, and I'm excited about that. So
it'll take a lot to top my favorite Trivium performance, because I saw Trivium, and some of you listening may have saw this show too, at fucking Coppertail Brewing, playing behind the brewery. Dude, and this was only a few years ago. Like, this wasn't like when they were little or anything. Like, they had hits.
Yeah.
It was killer, dude.
That's awesome. Good times. Next up, we were honestly hungry as fuck. We went over to VIP over by the main stage, and we just kind of relaxed and took a break. We listened to the Pretty Reckless from over there. Didn't even see it on the screen, but listened. I mean, they sounded like the Pretty Reckless. So
yeah, they sound good for what they do. It's pretty standard radio rock, but I mean, I've seen them a few times.
What were you doing after Trivium?
After Trivium, so we were heading over to catch We Came as Romans.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to see, but we were just so exhausted. We needed to go sit down. So
yeah, but we did catch the very last Guar song as we came up, and we came up right when the Guar fans are going to be mad at me for not knowing, but the big fucking dinosaur was on the stage. Yeah. And it was bad as fuck.
Nice.
And then we talked to our, I think it was Ross, and because I had to know, and I was like, did they gut Trump? And he's like, man, they gutted Trump. He's like, they got Elon Musk. He's like, I want to say they got Biden too. I don't remember, but
they don't care. They fucking got everybody.
Oh no, they're equal. If there's a president, since they've been alive, they've gutted them on stage. And I really wanted to see that part, but I didn't make it. But We Came as Romans, killer. It was only my second time seeing them.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. Like, we made the joke about there's a metalcore guy look, like they can make a fucking costume, and it's basically Jake Lurs. So if you front a metal band, like you're gonna, the guy from We Came as Romans
is the look.
The guy from Era, the guy from August Burns Red,
they do
Jake Lurs. They all look the fucking same.
Yeah,
they're a big muscular guy. They got a beard like Justin's, and they wear a cap. And usually they wear tight jeans.
So they're all Phil Labonte inspired.
You're right. But
yeah, idol.
We Came as Romans was great though, man. They really were.
I've only seen them once, and it was Rainville, ironically enough, and that's when the show was called off. Was during We Came as Romans. I really wanted to see them, but like I said, we couldn't. Did get the tickets to go see them in August or whatever though. So I'm excited.
They're one of those bands where like they have an album and some songs that I listen to regularly, and then a lot of it is just kind of casual listening. Like,
yeah.
But every time I see them live, I'm very impressed. So.
Yeah, it's a good band. We ended up next catching Arch Enemy.
Arch Enemy we saw from the neighboring stage, like we talked about.
We went up close for a few songs, and then we actually dropped back. That's one of the times we met up. We were all sitting back at the neighboring stage.
That's right. Yep.
Because Asking Alexandria was next, which is what you guys were waiting for. But Arch Enemy sounds amazing live.
They're amazing.
They were so good. Like, from what we've seen, I would love to see them again. Like, actually be able to be up close and watch it the whole time, or.
Yeah, Alyssa's an incredible front woman.
Yeah,
like,
she's really good.
She really commands the stage. Like, it was impressive, even though we were so goddamn hot that we were just chilling in the back. Yeah. Very impressive show, though.
The band was tight. They sounded great, too. Asking Alexandria was next. I know you guys stuck around for that. We only listened to a song or two, and then we left again to go get food or something. We needed a break, so.
Yeah. And that was vital. I mean, those of you that are listening from other states, like, I mean, Justin hasn't, but I've lived in Florida my whole life. Like,
I mean, I'm 20 plus years here, so however half my whole
before that,
life,
you were in New Orleans. Like,
yeah, it was hot as fuck in Atlanta. And
we're used to heat, we're not soft ass bitches.
Yeah.
We could deal with heat. This was fucking next level heat. This was not something that I had dealt with before.
It was hot last year, but it was just disgusting.
It was different this year.
So bad this year.
The amount of sunblock that I put on my body was like,
I don't know how we all didn't get sunburned.
It was crazy, but
none of us passed out. None of us got sunburned. So like, these breaks were vital. So you either take them or you hit the ground. It is what it is. You're gonna cut bands throughout the day at these festivals. So
yeah, and we'll get to it. Sometimes you make really tough choices.
Yeah,
but we did catch Asking Alexandria. Incredible show.
Didn't he come out in like a big ass fucking hoodie and shit too? I was like,
dude,
what in the fuck, bro?
This
Do you not
man
feel how it is?
Was completely covered in black, except for his white socks. Fucking guy had black sneakers.
Did he
black
forget?
jeans,
Did he forget to get the black socks? He lost
black
them.
gloves, and a big black jacket or hoodie. I'm not sure which.
Yeah.
And his hood up for the entire set, and it was really weird. And I'm not really sure what to make of it, but he did say it's going to be their last show for a long time. So,
oh wow, just fucking knifing me on that one.
But
fuck,
they played songs from their first album.
Yeah.
They played the fucking "Oh My God" song.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I've seen them a lot of times. I've never seen them play this song.
Yeah.
They played a heavy shit.
They played that at Earth Day Birthday. You didn't go to that though.
No.
Last year.
I didn't think they played any of those songs anymore.
The Oh My
They
God.
played
Yeah,
that?
they played that at Earth Day Birthday
Okay.
last year. Yeah.
I don't think they play those songs
Fucking
anymore.
love it. I have distinctive memory of that. I was
Danny is very much like not a fan of the old music anymore, and he's been very vocal about it.
Yeah.
And I guess the day of or the day before, he was promoting his solo music, and then he comes on stage like some anonymous band member and performs.
Yeah.
Now, he still gave it his all. He sounded great. He actually sounded probably better than what I'm accustomed to hearing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some hit or miss shows with him as well, even though he's an incredible vocalist. But that was a weird show, and I don't know how the man didn't die with the clothes that he was wearing. Because I don't care what kind of stunt I was trying to pull, I'm not wearing that fucking thing on my head. Also, I was amazed, like, how do you headbang? How do you sing? Do all that stuff, and the hood never comes off your head? Did he have some fucking Velcro on the top of his head or something?
He had some boob tape on his head.
Yeah, that was a good show, though. It really was.
Good. After that, Body Count was on the very next stage. Inferno.
Did you watch Body Count?
Yeah, we did. We watched from in between the stages. We were over near Bullet getting ready for that. But yeah,
Body Count is always a band that I've liked, and I expected it to be fun, but they blew me away.
it was so good.
It was crazy. I'm wearing my goddamn Body Count shirt right now. For those of you watching on video,
Yeah. He brought his son out.
I had so much fun at that show, and I didn't expect it. So they played not all the songs I wanted to hear, but they played a lot of them. They had a good mix of songs, like old stuff and new stuff. Like Justin said, it was a family event. So number one, the very first song, there's a guy running around in a purge mask, and then he disappears, and this random guy comes back, for the next song, and me and Amy are looking at each other like, who's this guy? Like, are we supposed to know who this is?
Yeah.
It turns out that it's Ice-T's son, and he's kind of like a hype man, backing vocalist for the whole show. And clearly they've been watching some Ice Nine Kills performances, because they decided to kill people on the stage, and the son got his throat cut, and he's like bleeding, and
Yeah.
it was cool as shit, man. It was punk rock as fuck, and Ice-T's message is just something that everybody needs to hear, because the guy's lived it, man. Like, this dude's he's a real gangster. Yeah, he might play a fucking detective on TV, but that guy really lived the life, and he's been through the shit. And as recently as last year, he's had a fucking run-in with cops fucking dicking him over and treating him poorly. And I respect the man so much.
He comes from a different era. He's not like your TikTok rappers these days. Like,
Yeah,
it's
if you ever seen Suicidal Tendencies live, it's a similar vibe. Ice-T, he's getting old. He couldn't move around the stage. I feel like if you would have seen him 20 years ago, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But he brought people on the stage to fulfill that spot,
like his son,
and bring the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And his son was all over the damn place. Looked like he was having the time of his life.
Yeah.
But then they did that song. I guess it's a new song that's from the new album. I hadn't heard it yet. But it's horror themed. And he goes and he puts the damn latex stocking over his face and stuff.
Yeah, that shit was creepy as fuck. It always is.
Dude, it was great. I loved every minute of Body Count. Crazy pit for Cop Killer, like you would expect. And Ice even said, he's like, You know, he's like, fuck the police. He's like, I play one on TV, but they could suck my fucking dick.
Yeah.
So much fun. So much fun. And look, these dudes are legit musicians, man. Like Ernie B is a goddamn legend on the guitar. And the guy that plays the bass, I can't even remember his name right now, but he pulls off all of the screaming parts that are done by various artists on the album. So parts that Riley Gale and Max Cavalera and stuff recorded on the album.
Yeah.
This guy's belting it out, man. He's got the fucking Sepultura pipes on him. It's crazy. Yeah, it was a good time. Sorry, I've been waiting to talk about Body Count, man.
Body Count was a lot of fun. I didn't expect to have that much fun over there watching it. So,
and I will say, I'm sorry to Travis Baker if you're listening. Dillinger was playing at the same time, but I just couldn't bring myself to not catch Body Count. So
right after Body Count, right next door at Vortex was Bullet for My Valentine, and this was my headline of the night because we headed out after Bullet. So,
same.
They were good. I went in slightly salty about all the Trivium drama, but then Bullet starts playing, and it's just, we were down there in the pit the whole time. A friend of ours, Tommy, showed up in the pit, running around the whole time, having a blast. Never seen him ever out there in the pit. So it was really cool that he was letting loose like that too. And it was a great show. They sounded amazing.
So here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
It don't matter who you are, man. They start playing them songs. You forget. You know, Amy had said it to me on the way up, like, oh, they have so many hit songs on that album. And hit, you know, you can define that however you want. But the truth of the matter is, every single song on that album, when they play it, you're like, oh, shit, they're playing this one?
Yeah.
Like, I forgot.
Yeah.
And then you realize, you're like, I love all these songs. I've been listening to all these songs for 20 years.
I wept.
It's insane, dude.
There's video evidence.
Just like Trivium. Basically flawless. Like,
they're so good.
Matt Tuck is a beautiful man. You see him on the stage. He's a presence. You know, he's a rock star for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, this guy looks like he was just born in the goddamn spotlight. I've seen Bullet many times, but seeing them play these songs, because these were the first songs I heard, and this is still, no matter what, it's just a special album. And they were the headliner. I didn't need anything else after that because I was like,
we left. That was it. I will say there was, so Shinedown was the actual headliner. I don't think any of us stayed around for it. I did later on find out that members of Leonard Skinner came out with them and did Simple.
Yeah,
Simple
I heard
Man,
that.
so
And that's
cool.
pretty fucking cool.
And then he also did a Three Doors Down song.
Very nice.
So that was a nice touch too. So, yeah, I mean,
I will say, man, I would have liked to have heard more bands acknowledge that. I think
it's a major deal. It is. It really is. Whether you're a fan of the band or not, like last minute
it
band.
Is. I'm not a fan of the band, but I think, I didn't really hear anyone bring it up. Like,
it was a couple bands that, but it was very rare. So,
yeah.
But that was it. Yeah. What was your favorite band day one? Body Count?
Body Count, baby. Body Count. Oh, my God.
Count. For me, it was probably...
Case Strain was close second.
I would like to say it was Trivium, but it was probably Bullet. It was between the two of them.
And that's the thing. I think if we would have got to see them on level playing field, it would have been a much harder decision.
Yeah.
But we saw Trivium in the middle of the day. We saw Bullet at night with the full production, the intro video, like all the stuff they did.
The intro video was really nice. And then, and Bullet also played the full album, whereas Trivium only played 5 songs.
Right.
So I mean, there's a difference there. But those are my favorite two. Body Count was the biggest surprise of the day. Like, I didn't expect to have that much fun there.
Neither did I. And I actually, I listened to them somewhat regularly. Not all their albums, but I have albums that I play, regularly. They surprised the shit out of me, man. I thought it was going to be more of a novelty thing, but no, these guys came.
They still came.
Fucking, no, it's a legit band, man. Don't write it off because it's Ice-T.
Check them out if you get a chance. So
yeah, so that was Thursday.